Let's add and subtract mixed numbers. Now, adding and subtracting mixed numbers are just the same as adding and subtracting fractions, except with mixed numbers, we're going to throw in a whole number. So let's do 2 eighths plus 2 3/8 plus 1 3/10. Alright, now just like regular fractions, we can't add 3/8 and 3/10. So we have to find the LCD. So we're going to use our big M. We're going to put our denominators at the top of the M. And we're going to find the multiples, because we want to find the least common multiple, and then he will also become our least common denominator. So let's skip count by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and 80. I'm going to stop right there and let's skip count by eights. 8 times 1 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 3 is 24. 8 times 4 is 32. 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 6 is 48. But I see that we have a common multiple, and he's going to be our least, our smallest common multiple, which is 40. So he's going to be our multiple, common multiple, which now means he's going to become our least common denominator. So for right now, I'm going to ignore the two whole numbers, and I'm going to change 3/8 into 40. I'm going to change 3/10 into 40. Now how do I do that? I complete my multiplication sentence and I say to myself, well, 8 times what equals 40? Well, I know it's 8 times 5. And whatever I do to the denominator, I have to multiply to the numerator, which means I'm multiplying by 1. So 3 times 5 is 15. So what I'm saying is 3/8 is equivalent to 15/40. Now let's find the equivalent fraction for 3/10. I know that 10 times 4 equals 40. And so whatever I do here, I must do on top, and that tells me that 3 times 4 is 12. So 3/10 is equal to 12/40. So now I have renamed these fractions here. So I'm going to rewrite my problem now as 2 15/40, because 3/8 is now equal to 15/40, so he is now 2 15/40, plus 1 12/40. I have renamed it equal fraction. 1 3/10 is the same as 1 12/40. So now I can add these. Well, 15 plus 12 is 27, and the denominator stays the same. So 15/40 plus 12/40 is 27/40. And now I can add my whole numbers. 2 plus 1 is 3. So my answer to 2 3/8 plus 1 3/10 is 3 27/40. Okay? Let's do another one. We're now going to do 2 3/8, and this time we are going to subtract 2 1/4. Okay, again, I can ignore the whole numbers, and I can subtract, or I can say to myself, can I subtract 3/8 and 1/4? They're unequal denominators, so I need to find the same denominator. So an equal denominator, so I'll put my denominators there, and I will skip count. And I bet most of you know right away we could stop right there, and our LCM will be 8, which means he's also my least common denominator. So I'm going to ignore my whole numbers, and guess what? 3/8 has a denominator of 8. So I'm actually going to bring him down here and keep him the same. So he's going to be the first part of my problem. So the fraction I do need to change is 1/4. So I'll put 1/4, and I know I'm going to change him into 8. And I ask myself, 4 times what equals 8? Well, I know it's 2. So I must multiply by 2 in my numerator. And so 1 times 2 is 2. Okay, so I have changed 1/4 into 2/8, equal fraction, but I need to remember my whole number. So I can now say that 2 and 1/4 is equal to 2 and 2/8. Same fraction, I have not changed anything, they're equivalent. Now I can subtract. 3/8 minus 2/8 is 1/8. And then 2 minus 2 is 0, and I can put the 0 there, or I can just leave it out because that's all I have left, just 1/8. So my answer to 2 and 3/8 minus 2 and 1/4 is just 1/8.